Hi, this is Shannon from SISforteachers.org. We're so excited about how big our Facebook group has gotten for SIS for students. Thank you so much for sharing all of your amazing pictures of what you're doing at home with your children. I know first and foremost, as being a working parent and trying to do schoolwork while maybe trying to do your job and try to keep everyone in the house is really difficult. We're hoping at SIS that these videos will be helpful for you and your family instead of a long list of links to go on that are really overwhelming. So we have, for day three brand new games that we want to bring to you that will be a variety for K-5 students all the way to lower elementary and then upper elementary. So in this video today that you're going to see next right after me is a video from our partners at makingmathmakesense.org, and they are going to be doing the game called Knock Off the Clock. My friend Kristen Hilty is a math presenter and friend of mine, and she's going to show you a really easy game that you can just make from a piece of paper. You don't really need anything besides piece of paper and dice, which makes it simple to get the supplies ready. Remember, if you don't have dice in your house, you always can go onto a free app to get a dice generator, a number generator, even cut up numbers and put them in a bag to make it easy. We hope that you enjoy the video and post pictures and invite other friends to be a part of our Facebook group. You need to go to facebook.com/groups/SIS4 student.
Hi everyone, this is Kristen Hilty. I'm here on behalf of makingmathmakesense.org and also SIS for Teachers. Today's game that I'm going to teach you is Knock Off the Clock. This is a game that's appropriate for all grade levels, kindergarten through 5th grade. I'm going to show you one way to play it with my own son, Brett, and then I'm going to show you some different ways that you can use different materials and you can modify it depending upon what level students that you are playing with. For this game, it's pretty simple. All you need is a piece of paper. Brett and I are going to share our piece of paper here, and we're each going to use our side. And then each person for this first way will need 2 dice and then some kind of writing utensil. Since we're doing it on a dry erase board, we're each going to use dry erase markers for ours. So to play Knock Off the Clock, to get started, each person needs to draw a circle about the size of your fist, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to take your circle and you're going to make it look like a clock. So at the top of my circle, I'm going to put the number 12. Inside your circle, put the number 12. And then straight below that number 12, I'm going to put the number 6. In between the 12 and the 6 on the right-hand side, I'm going to put the number 3. And straight across from the number 3 on the left-hand side, I'm going to put the number 9. Now I'm going to fill in my clock with the missing numbers. So the 1 and the 2 between the 12 and the 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and then 10 and 11. Now, once you have your clock made, you are ready to play the game. I'm going to demonstrate this for you first, and then Brett and I are going to play against each other. So hold your dice, Brett. You're not going to play just yet. The way this is going to work, at the same time, we are both going to roll our 2 dice. So we roll our 2 dice, and we get our 2 numbers that we're going to work with. I think with the 2. Now, my kindergarten through 2nd grade friends, you can play this game just using addition, subtraction. My 3rd through 5th grade friends, you can play this game using addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You can use any operations you wish. So I'm going to take my 2 and my 2, and I'm going to write down 2 plus 2 equals 4. On my clock, I have to knock off what my answer is. Since my answer was 4, I knock off the 4 on my clock. I quickly roll again. Oh, and I got 2 and 2 again. Well, this time I'm not going to want to do 2 plus 2 equals 4 because I already did that one. So I don't want to do 2 minus 2 equals 0 because we don't have a 0 on the clock. And 2 times 2 also equals 4. So I think I'm going to do 2 divided by 2, which equals 1. And I'm going to knock my 1 off. I'm going to quickly roll again. This time I got 1 and 2. So this time I'm going to put 1 plus 2 equals 3, and I'm going to knock that 3 off my clock. Play is going to continue until one person has 12 number sentences or 12 equations where they've knocked off the numbers 1 through 12 on their clock. The first person who can do that will be the winner of our game. So, Brett, are you ready to play Knock Off the Clock? Let me redraw my clock here, And then we will be all set. And you'll see, as Brett and I play, we both go at exactly the same time because it is a race to see who can knock all 12 of those numbers off first. Are you ready, Brett?
Mhm.
You're going to play on this side. I'm going to play on this side. Don't forget, you have to write your number sentences each time. Ready? Go. Now, in this case, because I have 4 plus 1 equals 5 or 4 minus 1 equals 3, since I've already knocked those two answers off, and 4 times 1 equals 4, since I don't have anything I can do, I'm going to quickly roll again. Hope you're hurrying, Brett. I'm getting close.
Wait, what do you do if you don't have one?
If you don't have one, you roll again. Well, I can do 6 times 2 equals 12 with that roll. Need 11 and
Keep
a
rolling.
2. Gets down to the end where I can do 2 divided. Oh, no. Gets down to the end where it gets close. Oh, 2 times 1 equals 2.
You don't even have that yet.
Now I just need my 11. And my challenge for you is to think about which number is the hardest number to knock off the clock. And why is it the hardest number to knock off the clock? There we go. I got 6 plus 5 equals 11. Knock off the clock. All right. Now, you can have your partner double check and make sure you did knock all 12 numbers off the clock. How close did you get?
I just need 9 and 12.
9 and 12. So he was awfully close too. That is the basic way that you play knock off the clock. But let me show you some ways that you can modify this game. One way to play, if you have these fun dice at home, or if you see these out in the stores, these are called Dyson dice, and you can see there's a little tiny die. Kids love these. So these are fun because when I roll that, it gives me my 2 numbers that I use. So in this case, I have the 6 and the 2, which is what Brett needed to get that 12 over there. He could have done 6 times 2 equals 12. So these are fun. This way, each person only needs 1, and they can use that to get their 2 numbers to knock off the clock that way. Now, for our younger friends, those who are in kindergarten or in preschool, we might do something a little bit different with this game. And for our younger friends, what we might do is take cards. Now, in your cards that you have at your house, you can just use regular playing cards, and you can turn your ace into the number 1. You can turn your jack into the number 11, and you can turn your queen into the number 12. And that way you have the numbers 1 through 12. What I am using here, my cards come from a company which has a lot of great game resources, both for schools and at home. The company is Boxcars and One-Eyed Jacks, and I will put a link to their site on the page as well. They have some great at-home family game resources where you can actually purchase these mini cards that I'm showing you here, and also these dice that I'm going to show you, which are great for our young learners. And they have family game books that you can purchase as well. So what they do with their cards, as you can see with mine here, they actually have the numbers 0 through 12. So you still get 52 decks in your, or 52 cards in your deck, but you have the numbers 0 to 12, and you don't have to worry about your jokers, aces, jack, queen, kings. So what I do with these, with the little ones, is I have them start by making their clock. So they put out their 12, they put out their 6, they put out their 3, and they put out the 9. And then we can fill in with those missing numbers. So we're going to take our cards and set it up just like it is a clock. And when they have that here, now, these are great dice as well. These are 12-sided dice. You can see this one has the numbers 1 through 12 on it. You can see this one has the dot images that go all the way up to the dot images for 12. These, again, come from Boxcars and One-Eyed Jacks. What's nice about these is they are color-coded, so you can see that 6 is green here with the dots, and the number 6 is green on this as well. They also make smaller ones that just have the numbers 1 through 12, and a lot of times you can find the 12-sided dice if you have the game Dice Capades at home, or lots of places online will sell different types of dice. So you can look for the 12-sided dice, and those are fun. They give you more options with some of the games that you're playing. So this game, I'm going to show you how to play it with this die here, where we have just the numbers. So what I would have the little ones do is they're going to roll that die, and they have to match it to this number over here. What they're going to do is they're then going to turn over that number 8. Now, they could be playing this with a partner, and a partner could also make a clock out of these cards as well. And then their partner would go, and their partner would turn over their number. They're just going to take turns rolling. They're going to match it to their number and turn that number over in their clock. You want to be the first person who can turn all 12 of your numbers in your clock over. So you can see this way, we're just doing number matching. We weren't actually doing the operations with addition and subtraction, multiplication and division like I was doing in the first way that we played the game. So each person takes their turn, they match the number, they turn that number over in the clock, and you want to be the first person who has turned over all 12 of your numbers. So that's a way that makes it a little bit easier. If you don't have access to those 12-sided dice like I just showed you, that's okay. Because if you'll notice here, I took out all of my hearts out of my deck. What you can do then is take the rest of your cards that you have, you can mix up those cards, and you can put those down in the center, and you can turn over a card. So when I turn over this card, I have to then turn over this number on my clock. So I would turn over my number 1. My partner would turn over a card, and they would on their clock turn over their number 5. I turn over a card, I have to turn over my number 6. My partner would take a turn, they would turn over their number 2. I take a turn, I'm now going to turn over my. So this way, again, if you don't have dice, you can use your cards, and they make great numbers. Again, practicing that number matching for our youngest learners that way. This is our game, Knock Off the Clock. As I said, this is a fun one. It's a great one for our kindergarten through 5th graders to work on their math facts for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And then for our youngest learners, this is another way here where we can do that number matching, where we're working on those numbers 1 through 12. I hope you enjoyed this game. Feel free to take it, and if you play it in any different way, I would love to hear from you how you play this game with your friends at home. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on our next game tomorrow.